out, and I think the Titans can handle that a lot better. But when they go up against teams like Lee Summit North and like Blue Springs that have large physical offensive lines, we're just really not built for it.
Right, and Blue Springs presents a big offensive line. It's going to be very challenging for our defense tonight.
So obviously that's the danger for us as far as defensively is concerned. If it's me, and we've talked about this before, you mentioned the going away from the three-man front, which I think they probably will do at least at times. But I mean, I'm thinking more along the lines of not just a matter of having 4 down linemen, but also making sure you always have 7-8 guys in the box.
That's the biggest.
Dare them to do something other than run the football.
You know what? Force them to throw the football.
Right.
So force them to get out of their game plan.
Yeah, even if you can open up a hole, we're going to make sure you don't get more than 2 or 3 yards, because that second level is also going to have 4 linebackers along with 4, down linemen, that sort of thing. And then say, look, if you want to beat us, you're going to have to do it through the air.
Yeah, and I talked to some of the Blue Springs coaches before the game, and their big goal is to have long runs, or not long runs, but long sustained drives.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to see the Titan offense.
Well, and that's the other thing, is the Titan offense has to play like they did in the first half against Liberty, where they're just not stoppable.
Absolutely.
If no matter how good Blue Springs is running the football, if the Titans score every time they have the football, they'll be okay.
Right. No, you're exactly right. But
of course,
again, though, it could be another just barn burner, point after point after point.
It could, and of course, turnovers can always be a big factor in games like that.
That's true, and that's one thing we really haven't seen a lot of this year, is a lot of huge turnovers at crucial times.
Yeah, momentum-changing turnovers, that sort of thing. Team's heading out to the middle of the field for the coin toss right now. And, cold, this is probably as cold as it's been for any game this year.
I'm cold, Joe.
Yeah, it's actually a little chilly up here, which is something we don't usually say at Titan Stadium's press box.
Kid, Mark, you got a heater or something?
There's one under here. I think they're saving money. We can, get a little fire going or something.
No kid.
But seriously, though, I don't know if that will make much difference at all, because if they did much practicing this week, it was cold and rainy then too. So I would hope that they'd gotten used to it by now.
I'll tell you what, I know. I was talking to Coach Donahoe, and Coach Careswell beat Coach Donahoe to get in the indoor facility over off of 40 Highway. So I know they practiced inside a little bit this week.
I'm sure the players were somewhat appreciative of that.
Oh, yes.
Doing the coin toss right now. At least I think they are. Looks like the way they're setting it up, the Titans actually won the toss and elected to receive, which is going back to the way they did a few weeks ago. So let's see if it pays off for them. Opening kickoff coming up after this. It's the Titans and the Blue Springs Wildcats. Titan football coming up next. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Our officials huddling at the center of the field, getting ready to start. Our referee, Brian Keith. Umpire, Matt Seller. Head linesman, Brian Hyatt. Line judge is Ike Stearns, and our back judge is Ron Kernett. All of that is just in case Bill Warner is paying attention, because he'll always want to know. No, actually, oddly enough, when I was down there doing the pregame interview, Coach Careswell had just finished doing his pregame meeting with the referees, as you're used to doing, I'm sure, when you were a head coach. And they were all about the inflation of the balls, as Freddie Romero has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line right in the middle of the field, and he'll step into one. Coming down, looks like Wilson will take it at about the 6, right up the middle now to the left side. He's hit, pushes forward across the 25 near the 30. And the Titans will start with pretty good field position. So, yeah, they were we had the deflate gate going all over again, looking for making sure those balls were all.
So did they have to put air in the balls?
I think they did. A couple of them felt a little low, and they put some in. I told Coach Careswell I've got a pump in my car in case he needs it.
There you go.
He said thanks, but they're taken care of. So Ben Coble company come on out. 1st and 10 from their own 30. And we'll see if they can get their offense going this week. What do you think of the assessment that the 3 scores and 20 seconds was payback from the football gods?
Paybacks? I don't know. I don't know if I can buy that one, Joe. That was just freak of nature.
It was weird. Max Payne on the opening carry. Once again, Max getting the start in that tailback position from the pistol. And he'll pick up about 3. 2nd and 7 from the 33. Yeah, that I've never seen 2 weeks with stranger ends to the first half like that. Same pistol formation, now Cooper in motion to the right. On 2nd and long, back to throw. Throwing down the field, he's got Cooper. He'll make the catch out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Sammy Cooper, nice little over-the-shoulder catch. And I tell you what, I think took either safety or quarterback a little by surprise there with the speed.
That was a very nice play. Spread it out there. Great catch.
Marcion Marshall comes in for this play as the tailback as they bunch things up on the right side. 3 receivers, including Careswell. 1 on the left on 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 40. Couple of fakes, trying to set up a screen, but going to have to just get rid of it as he tosses it to the feet of Marcion Marshall. Good job by the Wildcat defense to sniff that one out.
Good heads up by Ben Coble to get rid of the football instead of taking a huge loss right there.
Absolutely. Marshall comes out, Payne comes back in. I don't know if Marshall's considered to be the better receiver or if it's just the height. Because they obviously brought him in for that play for the screen pass. And on 2nd down, the give to Payne up the middle. He'll get across the 40 to about the 38. Pickup of 3, and it'll be 3rd and 7. But it occurs to me with Max out there, he'd be a hard target to find as a quarterback if you're trying to find him coming out of the backfield.
Oh, yes, he would.
Especially if he ends up getting, in a screen pass, you're talking about throwing over linemen to get to him, too, sometimes.
Right.
That would even be harder to do. 3rd and long, possibly 4-down territory. Toss in, it's Cooper. He is hit and tackled, not much more than the line of scrimmage on that. A good play by Zipsy, the outside linebacker, to catch up with him. He's the one that Cooper beat on the play earlier. And this time
he had good angle on Cooper.
Yeah. And it's going to set up a 4th and looks like a punting situation as they'll play field position here. If they don't fake it, it is 4th and 7 from the 38-yard line. They're not even dropping anybody back, are the Wildcats. Careswell standing at his own 49. A good snap. He's rolling, and he will kick it, but a horrible kick. Goes almost straight up in the air. Takes a sideways bounce at about the 32. So it doesn't even get to the line to make the 1st down line. So a punt of about 6-7 yards.
I would have went for it.
Good call, Coach. That's why you're a Hall of Famer.
Jeez.
Because of that 20/20 hindsight you have. So we get to see that one didn't go well, obviously, just on the kick, and I don't know if it went off the side of his foot or what.
Well, and he's doing that soccer.
Yeah,
style,
he was trying to do the sort of rugby-style kick, and he obviously was, rolling out with, as if he might decide, the Titans jump there.
And it looked like he was thinking about running the ball.
Yeah, it looked like what he probably was given the option. It sounded, I'm guessing, that they sent him out there and said, okay, so roll out to your right, see what it looks like. If you think you can get the 1st down, run it. If you don't, just go ahead and kick it. And I tell you what, either way he did, it probably would have been at the same spot. If he had tried to run it.
1st and 5.
Blue Springs have probably gotten the ball at the same spot. or pretty close to it anyway.
All right, it is a different defensive look for the Titans.
Yeah, they've got a big front, 5 men. And it is a keeper up the middle, Mansfield. And he'll get a first down. Nice push by that offensive line that we were talking about. And it was just Kobe Mansfield with the keeper following the center. After the penalty, it was only 1st and 5 on that, and they just went straight up the gut.
They sure did.
They are playing 8 men in the box right now, 5 down linemen, 4 with their hands down, 1 to the right, and then 3 linebackers behind them. 1st and 10 from the 46, and again, yeah, there was movement early. The Titans did come across, but like you said, I think they moved first.
And honestly, it looked like it was going to be another quarterback keep there.
Yeah. And it is a false start against the Wildcats, and that is definitely what you want. You know, if you're a Titan on the Titans' defensive side, you want to get them into long yardage situations if at all possible. Take them out of their game plan, if at all.
Penalty moves them back 5 yards to the 41.
So is this a surprise to you that they're coming out with this 5 down lineman look?
It is. I'm glad to see this.
Do you remember back in the old days of Class 4 when that was your standard 50 defense that you played?
It was.
I formation here, and it'll be a toss sweep. And, tripped up. Great play in the backfield by Wilson as Bailey got the call. He's their big horse.
Number 2, Christian Wilson.
Avion Bailey. And not much on it. It'll be second down in about 15. It was the penalty, of course, kept it at 1st down.
Short loss on the play, 2nd down and 15.
So we'll see what they do here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Wildcats run even at this down and distance. Again, the I formation, Twins on the right, and it is a give. Bailey up the middle, and a good hit, taking him down as he got across the 40 to about the 44.
I'll tell you what,
but only a gain of about 3, so it'll be 3rd down and long.
You've got 9 guys, 10 guys in the boxes. That's exactly what you're wanting right now.
Absolutely, and say, look, beat us through the air. The only problem with that idea is that we can be beat through the air.
Oh, absolutely.
But hopefully they'll step up. We'll see. Hopefully they'll be able to get some good pressure if they do on plays like that. This 3rd down and 12. Shotgun formation. Mansfield, Titans show blitz, and they hand off, and Bailey almost got out of it. He's still fighting, but finally there's about 8 or 9
loss of 3 on the play.
Titans. They're able to corral him down, and it looks like a punting situation here for the
great job.
Wildcats.
Great job swarm tackling there.
Well, what a difference a week's make.
And you know what? And that's kind of strange right there for Kelly Donahoe to not throw the football.
Oh, a quick snap. And hit and sacked on 4th down. They were trying to go to the quick snap. Mansfield, their quarterback, was still in. I don't know that they were going for it. I think he was probably going to do a quick kick. But it was a bad snap. And he ended up getting sacked, and the Titans get great field position. So they actually are getting the ball right at about where that punt ended up landing. So this works out as if they had faked the punt and made it.
Right. All right, so change of events right now. So do we go deep to the end zone?
I don't see that. It's possible.
Empty backfield.
At the moment, Twins on the left and right. Coble with now Cooper in motion, and they will hand off to Cooper. He looks to throws, and he's got Clemens, makes the catch, makes one man miss, gets inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line where he's forced out of bounds. Cade Clemens with a nice catch on the halfback option, or wide receiver option.
Right.
Shouldn't that be unsportsmanlike conduct? Because, we did something other than... There is a flag down, that's why I'm asking.
We got somebody downfield?
I don't think so. It could be. Or a formation issue or a motion issue, but I don't think so. Are they going to pick it up maybe? Let's see. No, it is an illegal man downfield for the Titans, and that's going to kill that play. and cost them 5 yards. So it'll be first and 15. Somebody got off a little bit early. I didn't see how they had the time to do that.
No, because that was quick.
Yeah. I mean, it was a handoff, but he threw that ball within 3 steps of getting it. So Sterling Edwards going into his bag of tricks pretty early here. Although every time we play Blue Springs, that's pretty much a standard, isn't it?
It is.
You're going to see some trick plays on both sides usually.
Yeah, because Sterling Edwards is a former Blue Springs Wildcat.
Makes it harder to fool him, doesn't it?
It does.
So after the penalty, they'll put the ball down at the 37-yard line. It'll be first and 15. Clock stopped, 7:16 left to go here in the first quarter. Scoreless game. Both teams have had the ball once. And both teams have had trouble punting the ball, oddly enough.
Well, some frustration coming from next door.
There's a toss. And it's going to be Payne, and he gets inside the 30 down about the 29. Pickup of 7 on the play. It'll be second down and 8 from there.
Well, I tell you what, Joel, this playoff system here, it's getting ready to start here in a couple weeks.
Yep.
There could be some good teams that go home the first week.
Second down and 8.
In this district, there will be by definition.
Yes.
I mean, you've got 8 teams in the district. Coble throwing far side. He's got a man open, but overthrew Cardell just by a little bit.
Pass is incomplete.
Little slow getting up, but he looks like he's okay. And it'll be third down and 8. He did have a step.
He did.
But it was overthrown by just a hair, maybe about a foot or so. You know, it's funny in this, like I said, 8-man Cardell is still slow getting back.
Well, he had to go get the ball. He's trained well.
Well, and they were talking to the officials about putting the ball in play early because the play clock's down to 10. So, down at 5. Third down and 8. And it is a give to Payne on 3rd and 8 up the middle. He's not going to get much. They could go for it here on 4th down with the ball. And Coble complaining to our referee, Brian Keith, about something.
4th and 5 for Louisville West.
And it looks like they're just going to go for it here. 4th and 5 from the 27. They've got to get to the 22, so they need 5 yards. I don't know. It'd be about a 45-yarder from here. Not much wind, but it is kind of cold. And it is on play action. Coble rolling right, throwing down the middle. He's got Cooper incomplete. There's a little bit of contact just before the ball got there, but no flag. And so
first and 10 for the Wildcats.
The Titans will turn it over on downs just like the Wildcats did. And with 6:03 left to go here in the first quarter, still no score, and we'll see Blue Springs give it another whirl on offense. Odd, it almost like, it's kind of strange. It's almost like the I don't know, the play calling is just a little on the weird side, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it.
Almost like he's trying to force some things.
Yeah. And you see this sometimes in NFL football. It's sometimes like teams are, sometimes you see teams that do the opposite of what they're supposed to do to try and get the other team off guard.
Right.
And this is a carry by Bailey. Pretty good run for about 4 or 5 yards. It'll be second down. And in this game, it's almost like they're trying to force what they want to do as opposed to taking what the defense gives them.
Exactly.
Second down and 5.
And letting the receivers run into dead areas.
They're only using the 4 down linemen right now, but they still got the 4 linebackers. So again, 8 men in the box, maybe even a 9th is pretty close. On second down, they only gave them to the 31. And again, it's Bailey. He's got a hole this time. Oh, a nice stick by Cahill coming up to make that hit. It'll be a gain on the play of about 2 or 3 up near the 35.
Nice tackle made by number
But it's going to set up a
Andrew
3rd and
Cahill.
short 3rd and about 3 from there. Nice hit, Andrew Cahill.
Yeah,
2 yards
right there,
on
they
the
looked like they were of a little unbalanced look there.
3 yards to go. It's 3rd
This is
down.
what the bread and butter of Blue Springs is.
And here comes
setting up.
unbalance again.
Yeah, setting up that 3 yards or less on third down if you can.
West going back to the 5 front.
Yep. And they blow the whistle. I'm assuming this is going to be a false start or an offside violation. But I couldn't tell who it was. I didn't see anybody move, but I didn't see anybody penetrate either.
It must have been on Blue Springs.
I would think so. Like maybe somebody leaned or something like that, a receiver.
Yeah, I think it was 21, the receiver. The way he's reacting.
Yeah. And it is a false start against Blue Springs. That's a big call because it turns a 3rd and 3 into a 3rd and 8. And that makes a huge difference in terms of, where Blue Springs wants to be on third down.
True.
Well, they ran it the last time.
Will Kelly throw the ball here?
Yeah. They're still waiting for our first throw for Blue Springs, right?
Right.
Now there's a little confusion as to personnel.
Down to
Play
10.
clock's down to 10. We'll see if they need to take a timeout here. Looking over for the play, and they're going to call timeout. Stops the clock with 4:43 left to go here in the first quarter. That's their first timeout. Titans have all 3. Still a scoreless game. It's funny, we were talking in the beginning like it was going to be nobody could stop anybody, and in reality, nobody's been able to get anything going.
It's been a pretty good defensive game.
Yeah. Well, heck, that's something to be said for that is that, when you do have this attitude, a lot of times the players, kids or otherwise, will take it personally and say, hey, let me show you.
Right, especially after a week that they've had, last couple weeks that they've had on defense. The defense has really struggled, but it looks like Coach Carswell and his defensive staff have really brought it together. I was talking to Coach Parks before the game, and he said last week's performance of his defensive line, he said was the worst that he's ever had here at Lee Summit West.
It's saying something.
Yeah.
So after the timeout, 3rd down and 8. We'll see what they want to do here. You never know. Could be a trick play. They're certainly not in a passing formation here.
No, they're not.
I formation with H-back. And it's going to be play action. Roll into the right side. Mansfield is looking to, now he's going to run. And he's going to get the first down. Fumbles the football, but it goes right to a Blue Springs player who recovers it at the 42, and it'll be a first down for Blue Springs.
Mansfield keeps it with the run to the right side.
In high school, are you allowed to fumble it forward like that, or will they move the ball back? It looks to me like
they moved it back.
I think you're supposed to. He may have been down anyway.
Right.
I didn't think so, though. I thought the ball came out early. Anyway, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. And so far, Mansfield's been their most effective runner.
Has.
By quite a bit, actually. I formation here on 1st and 10. And a give again. Trying to go off right tackle. Good job tackling Bailey. Boy, he is a hoss, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Big kid.
Big kid.
I mean, and tall, too. Not just, sometimes you see big running backs, but they tend to be stocky and compact. And he is... He's like a bigger version of Marcion Marshall, and not that Marcion is a small guy. He's not.
No, and I tell you what, Avion, he struggled at the beginning of the year. I was talking to Coach Donahoe. He struggled, but now he's really starting to come into his game.
So, no gain on the play there. 2nd down and 10. Clock going 3:35 left to go here in the quarter. I formation, Twins on the left. Mansfield will give to the first man through, and a good tackle, Minifield.
Stopped in the backfield by
as
91, Hampton.
The give to Wood on the first man through, but wasn't able to get anything going. In fact, lost a yard.
Exactly, trying a little counter play, trying to get the Titans off guard. Weren't able to do it that time.
So it'll be 3rd and long again. And again, that's what you want if you're the Titans, but now you got to stop them too. Still haven't gone to the air. They tried to last time. Couldn't find anybody to throw to, and ran for the first down. Split backs from the shotgun. Mansfield takes the snap, play action, back to throw. Lots of time throwing down middle of the field. He is overthrowing his intended receiver by quite a bit. Willich was the intended receiver, but it was a good 5-6 yards ahead of him and anybody else, and pretty good coverage over there as well.
Yeah, it was very good coverage.
So punting situation here for the Wildcats. As Mansfield, by the way, is their punter in addition to their quarterback. So when we said before that Mansfield had taken the snap, that wasn't, they didn't have their offense out. I still think it would have been a quick kick, but it was a bad snap anyway.
I think you're right.
Standard punting formation this time, and at least a decent punt for a change. Fair catch called for, made.
Scary.
Yeah, barely by Cooper at about the 27. And the Titans will try it again on offense. They've had a couple of drives and haven't really been able to get much going. Combination of penalties and just not executing. We had one long pass to Cooper, but really couldn't make anything out of it.
No, I tell you, I'd like to see Sterling kind of calm down here and get back in his groove. But again, let's see what he's got.
Yeah. Like I said, you got to execute. So we'll see what happens here. Man in motion is Cooper. On first down, they fake to him, and Coble rolls to the right. Now he'll throw left side. He's got a man down the middle. It's Cardell. Overthrew him by about a step. Didn't really go reaching for it, did he?
And you know what? You had two receivers right in the same area, too.
Makes you wonder whether or not somebody...
Right, and it looks like Goodall might have been in the wrong spot.
Could be. Stops the clock with 2:29 left to go in the quarter. Been a long first quarter.
Yes, it has.
For running teams.
Uh-huh.
But second down and 10 for the Titans. Come out quickly to the line. A quick snap and a toss. And it's Max Payne cutting up. Had one bit of a hole, and he was knocked down and out of bounds. As he picks up about 5-6 yards on the play. And it will set up a third down. Third and about 4 from there. Good running for Max Payne.
It was a nice run.
Correction, 3rd and 4.
You know, we've been talking about Wildcats not exactly living up to expectations, and they haven't exactly, but they're a 5-2 team. It's not like they're a poor team this year by any stretch of the imagination. Back to throw. And throwing left side, he's got a man, Cardell, and he couldn't quite hit him. He reached behind him to try and make the catch and couldn't hang on to it.
Pass is incomplete.
Black on the coverage was there, but he was definitely catchable. But could have been a better throw.
And it could have been a better throw, but also could have been a different route too, something that for sure is going to get you a first down so you can keep your drive going here.
Yeah, they've gone for home runs more often than, especially in a game like this. Clemens standing back at his own 19 to kick this away on 4th and 4. 2 men deep. Of course, after that last punt, hopefully Cade can step into one here. A bit of a low snap, and he does get a pretty good kick this time. He'll force back to about the 25-yard line, and going down on the play after making the catch was the returner, James Michael. And he may have lost a yard or so on the, maybe gained one, but regardless, not much there. 25 is where
Marshall on the tackle right there?
I don't think anybody. He went down before he was actually ever hit.
First and 10
You know, we talked about that. It's not raining, but that doesn't mean that the field might not be a little slick.
It does have a glaze to it. And you know what? It's sprinkling out there.
Yeah, it is actually. It's not, pouring or anything like that. But even when I was down there earlier, you could feel it. It was like misty,
Right.
I think there may be a little bit more coming down now than when I was there, but just based on some of the footing that we've seen, it could be.
Right.
That the field's getting a little slick. Here's Mansfield rolling to the left side, being chased, throwing. He's got a man. It's caught and forced out of bounds was Tapu Soa.
Pass complete to number 1, Ewing. Flag in the backfield.
Yeah, it looked like there was a hold, though. Yeah, holding is the call against the Wildcats.
Tapu Soa. I'm glad you're saying those names.
Tapu Soa.
Tapu Soa.
Tapusoa. I don't actually know. I'm just guessing, but based on the spelling, I would say
you did pretty good.
Tapusoa.
You sold me. Did you see what that penalty was there, Joel? I'm
Holding.
Sorry,
Now back him up to the 10-yard line.
I got something in my
First down.
way here again.
Yeah. They do actually have another number 1 on their team who is a senior, but I'm pretty sure that was Tapusoa. So after the holding penalty down to the 10-yard line, spot of the foul, and it's going to be Mansfield keeping it himself, and he's hit and tackled after a gain of maybe a yard. Cahill again stepping up with a good stick. But that I'm not sure, but I think it was a broken play. Looked just based on the body language of the quarterback, it looked to me like he was looking for someone to hand to, and whoever it was he was expecting to be there wasn't. So he kept it himself, but didn't really go very far. So it'll be second and a ton. That penalty, of course, was a spot of the foul, and if you remember, he rolled out. The hold came on the penetration. It was like 5 yards deep. So it turned out, although it's a 10-yard penalty, it was like a 15-yard penalty.
Going back to the 4-man front there.
Are we going to get a timeout or are we going to get a flag here? There was a
second.
Blue Springs with another timeout. That's their second and a
They
half.
actually had a
1 minute.
12th guy come out on the field, and then he ran back off, and so I wasn't sure if they were going to flag him for that or if they were going to call the timeout. Looks like they called the timeout. They're second of the half already. Still in the first quarter with 1:14 left to go. And a 2nd and 22 coming up here. Well, so far anyway, it's been relatively impressive by both defenses, but especially the Titan defense.
Yes, I tell you what, Vinny's adjustment there, going to a 5-man front, putting 8-9 guys in the box has made a big difference. And I bet you he's looking back to Lee Summit North now, and even Liberty last week should have made that adjustment.
Well, and that's the thing, though, is that none of these games really are all that important until the week after next.
Right.
And so if he's figured it out, and it turns out that it works, because there's a pretty good strong chance that we're going to meet somebody like that, if not Lee Summit North themselves, in the playoffs at some point.
Mark, have you figured out the rankings yet on the playoffs for this district?
Mansfield back to throw, and he'll let one go down the middle of the field, incomplete.
And Rockhurst would be number 1.
Intended for Marzoff. He's looking, there are flags down.
And Rockhurst has who tonight? Tomorrow. Now, with a loss there, does that affect us and move us up? Okay, gotcha.
So let's take a look on this flag. Now those flags were down, but they're calling it pass interference. There was no way that's a catchable ball. Now I don't know if that makes any difference in high school.
Pass interference on them.
Oh, on offense, pushing off.
Oh
no, it's on the defense.
Well, I just saw Blue Springs moving backwards.
Yeah. Now what's interesting about that is it keeps it second down, but they were so far out they don't actually have a first down from it. But I don't even like the call anyway because, again, I don't know if in high school it makes a difference because, in the pros, it's got to be a catchable ball for it to be, and I'm not sure that's the case. But it was, 10 yards, and we get some movement again.
Plays whistle dead.
A lot of flags this first quarter. That's one of the reasons why it's taking forever. False start.
False start.
I think you missed that. The referee, when he was given the penalty signal, did you actually see it? No, he went like this because he moved from offsides to false start in one little motion. Tried to make it look like he did it on purpose, but it was funny. Anyway, that'll bring us to, again, still second down, but now we're back to second and about 12 or so. Ball's on the 22-23. Under center, there's going to be a give to Bailey. He stops and starts, and again, Cahill, the big stick, and Bailey almost came off of it. It's a good thing there were some more Titans there to finish him off, or Cahill would have just ended up bouncing off. He hit him hard, but it looked like Cahill took the brunt of it. D-back going up against a running back with the size of a linebacker.
7 yards to go. It's third down.
So it'll be third down after a gain of maybe 4 or 5. We're down to the last half a minute or so of this quarter. Man in motion. Toss to Bailey, trying to get around left side. He'll get a first down and more as he got around the end. Not good contained that time by the Titans defensively. And so that'll take them up to the 39, first and 10. They'll start the clock after they set the sticks, and we'll see if they're going to run another play. They could, but I don't think they're going to. So they're going to let the clock run out to end this first quarter. A scoreless first quarter. 12 minutes of football in the books. No score. We'll come back for the second quarter right after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Coach Royce Bain. Lee Summit West and Blue Springs scoreless after one quarter. And both defenses turning it up in this first quarter and playing a pretty good quarter of football.
Yeah, they sure are.
The one thing that on that last play that's probably worth noting is that, when you do stack up the box like the Titans did, one way that some teams like to get around that is by doing sweeps, go around it.
Right.
And that was relatively effective.
It was.
We'll see whether or not they keep it up.
But that's the first time it's been effective.
Right.
Because
Well, it's the first time they've tried it, really. Trips on the left here, and it's Mansfield up the middle. Boy, it looked like he almost was going to drop the ball again. He gains about 5, maybe 6 up to the 44. It'll be a pickup of 5, 2nd and 5. But Kobe Mansfield really still has been pretty effective every time he's run the football.
Second down and 5.
I tell you what, you run behind that big old offensive line, that could be pretty good too.
Bailey, single back in the backfield, and H-back to the left, and trips on the left as well. 2nd down and 5 on their own 44 for the Wildcats. Toss sweep. And it will be Bailey again off of one tackle. He'll be close to a first down. Looks like he's a yard shy. And again, found some room trying to stretch the play out. Like I said, running away from the box.
Right.
So it'll be 3rd down and a yard.
Ball placed at the 48. 1 yard to go. It's 3rd down.
Possibly in 4-down territory here, as close as they are, if they don't make it. And especially with the ability to take that quarterback keeper, they think they could get themselves a yard if they feel like they need it.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be shocked to see it now.
Yep.
And they did.
And they got it. 2 yards on the 1 yard play right up to midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. I believe this will be their first sojourn into Titan territory.
1st and 10 Blue Springs from the 50-yard line.
Just underway second quarter.
I tell you what, I contemplated on grabbing my gloves out of the car.
Should have brought my hat too.
Oh my goodness.
A coat. 1st and 10. Mansfield under center. Bailey gets the toss, sweeping to the right side, being chased, and gets hit and knocked down. Goes forward for a couple yards. Cahill with another stick. It's about the 4th time he's come up with a big hit.
Very nice.
But on the other hand, Bailey did a good job of bouncing through it and still picking up a couple yards, but only a couple.
And it was great pursuit too.
Yeah. That time, again with the sweep, the way the Titans have to defend that is you have to chase it down.
Right.
That's the one thing the Titans do pretty well. So more double H-backs on this look. Bunch formation, 2nd down and 8. Give to Bailey up the middle. Oh, he's got a big hole, and he's hit and tackled. A touchdown saving tackle that time looked like from Cahill. But he picks up 20 yards all the way down to the 30, 1st and 10.
Oh, boy, that was a great lead block by Conrad Rowley right there, number 55, that sprung him.
Yeah. The first time that middle of the field had that big hole to it.
Uh-huh. And it came on a trap.
Well, you knew that after a quarter of being denied, Kelly Donahoe was going to come up with some adjustments. Right. And they are moving the football. Now we're going to get the 3rd and final timeout of the half already. And it's funny because it's on a 1st and 10 play, too. But something Kelly saw he didn't like.
Yeah.
Took the timeout, and that's it for them for this half with 9:05 left to go in the 2nd quarter of play. Still no score in this one. The Titans probably had at least an opportunity to score. On their first drive, they could have tried a long field goal. It would have been about 45 yards.
Yeah.
That was actually, I think, their 2nd drive, and they went for it and didn't make it on 4th down at about 5. But they could have at least put some points on the board, or tried to.
They could have, and then plus there was a couple overthrown balls.
Yeah. But this is the first time that the Wildcats have been in a position where they're not in a position quite yet where they could actually put points on the board. But it's 1st and 10 at the 30. At least I wouldn't think so. I don't know their kicker. Maybe he could kick a 47-yard.
1st and 10 from the 30.
You never know.
It didn't look that powerful on kickoff, though.
So here we go. From the shotgun. And on the counter play, Mansfield keeps it. And another good job by Minifield. The ball comes loose. Titans look like they got it. Waiting for the official. Yep, it's Titan football.
By the Titans.
Boy, Mansfield, that's the 3rd time. He actually lost it once before, and it looked like he was going to lose it earlier. And now this 3rd time he did. Fumble it and lost it. And the Titans get the first big break on the turnover.
Very nice.
Number 49, Elliott Keys, comes up with the ball.
It's a well-defended play anyway.
Uh-huh. It was.
But, and you know, some of that you might really be able to attribute to the cold weather. Because, again, if you're not used to being out in the cold and you're a quarterback.
It's about 45 right now?
I would think so. And, you know, your hands can get a little stiff, and it doesn't take much to knock the ball out.
Yes.
So Titans take over 1st and 10. Coble, give up the middle. Not much there. I believe that's Marshall. And it was on the carry. Might have gotten a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and long.
Carry up the middle by number 9, Marshall. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Titans have not really been able to move the ball very well on the ground. Had a couple of completed passes, but a couple of overthrows as well. And it's a little Statue of Liberty, Marshall, and he lost his footing as he was going around the
Marshall with the run.
Right side. Picked up a yard or two across to the 30, but it's going to set up a 3rd down and long. And again, it'll be interesting to see here what kind of a pass they try and set up if they're going for the 1st down or if they're taking a shot downfield.
Well, I hope they're just going for a 1st down.
Right,
so
in the past they've been taking shots,
Mm-hmm.
and those are much lower percentage, obviously. Or they've been running it or something like that. Now they'll take a shot downfield. It's Cardell.
Flag.
And there is a flag down. Again, an uncatchable ball, so if it works for them, it works for us. And there was contact.
Wow.
So let's wait for the indication for sure, but I imagine there'll be a defensive pass interference call. That'll give the Titans a 1st down. I'd be curious, why is this other official, the 3rd official who was on the far side of the field,
I don't know.
why would he get involved in that conversation at all? I mean, he was literally 40 yards away from what happened. It was defensive pass interference on the call. I'm just asking the question. I'm not saying there's anything wrong.
No.
I just was curious why a guy that was the opposite side line judge would come over and get involved in the conversation.
Not unless he's the backup
First and
wide
10
hat.
Titans.
Or he had some sort of question about something, or he wanted to let him know that, there was something going on with the chains, or, something, Who knows?
Who knows?
Titans come up quickly to the line. Quick snap, and it's Cooper on the direct snap right up the middle on the quarterback draw. And I tell you what, if he's not tackled up the middle by that linebacker Stuller,
Probably good.
he's got at least another 20 yards to run it, if not more. Could have gone the whole way, but unfortunately he was tripped up. And it was just the one guy there, too, because, all blue and one guy, and he just managed to get a hand on the leg or something and tripped him up. Pickup of 3, though. The Titans moving the football for a change. First time really in the game.
Thanks to some flags.
That's helped. And here's Max Payne trying to get around the right side, and he will, forced out of bounds, as he's maybe a yard shy of a first down into Wildcat territory at the 46, maybe 47. It'll be third down and short.
Number 48, Max Payne.
Going to put it down just shy of the 46-yard line. He's got a long 1 or a short 2 to go.
Ball placed at the 46. It's 3rd and 1.
Clock stopped on the out-of-bounds run with 6:55 left to go in the half. Payne comes out for this third down play.
Ben Coble split wide right.
And Cooper's going to take the snap. Sammy on the quarterback draw, go to the right side. He bounces and gets himself a first down. Not by much, but he got what he needed.
Cooper brought down at the 44.
Ran into his own blocker, it looked like.
And the drive keeps moving.
First down.
Moves the chains like you were talking about before, as opposed to taking shots downfield. And we did get a little lucky with the pass interference call. But a good sustained drive, that's good for our defense, keeping them off the field. And hopefully needs to lead to some points. Coble on play action, throwing, near side caught, Cooper. Well, he makes one man miss, trying to cut back. Still on his feet, and he's forced down as he gets to about the 32. A lot of running at the end for not a whole lot of yards, but good job.
It looked good.
Yeah.
Had people running everywhere.
It'll move the chains, though. First and 10
The
Titans.
extra effort gets a first down for the Titans.
All the way down to the 33. Coble from the pistol will give it up the middle. Max Payne. And he goes off right tackle across the 30 down to about the 29.
Payne with the carry up the middle. Brought down
Maybe
at the
a
29.
gain of 4. Let's call it second and 6. As the Titans look back, the clock down under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Carswell's the H-back on the left. Payne on play action. Coble looking to throw toward Carswell. Dangerous throw, and it's incomplete. Tell you what, it could have gone well, but it was a very dangerous throw.
Very dangerous.
As he tried to throw it over the defender. If that defender was paying attention.
Third down.
You remember the Chiefs game in Jones?
Yes.
That's what could have happened there.
No doubt.
But they get away with it. It'll be 3rd and 6. Possibly in 4-down territory here with the ball in the 29. Again, it would be about a 46-yard field goal attempt from here. 3rd down and 6. Trips on the right. Cardell on the left. Payne in the backfield, in the pistol, back to throw, throwing over the middle. He's got Clemens, makes the catch, hit and tackle. Did he get the first down? He had it, but came backwards. It's going to be close.
They gave it to
That's
him.
good.
Yeah, he did. It's funny, when he first caught it, he actually had it, but took a step backwards. But I think he came back across the line as he went down.
Now, that's what we've been wanting to see right there.
Yeah, some shorter passes. Using their bodies to, hold off the defenders.
And there's 5:20 left in the first half.
In the first half.
Because the ball keeps moving.
Ball on the 23. 1st and 10. Coble back to throw. Getting a rush, throwing. He's got Marshall, makes the catch. Stiff arm being forced out of bounds as he gets inside the 20 down to the 19.
Good hard running.
Yeah, and a good catch, too. Wasn't the easiest catch to make.
It was not the easiest.
And like I was saying before, his height really helped him out on that, too. If that's to Max Payne, he never catches it because he goes 3 feet over his head. I mean, you know. Clock stopped with 5:03 left to go. Titans have all 3 of their timeouts. Wildcats have none here at the end of the first half. 2nd down in the red zone, and it's a give. Cooper trying to get around the left side, trying to string it out, but he's taken down after a gain of maybe a yard.
Cooper with a carry.
As Black was able to come over from a cornerback position and stop him getting around the edge.
Brought down by number 36, Black.
And it'll set up a 3rd down, about 5 from there. Or is it 2nd, excuse me? No, 3rd down. 3rd and 5. Clock says 2nd for some reason. Score report, I should say. And on play action, Coble rolling right. He's getting a rush. He steps to his left. Needs to get rid of the ball.
We're downfield.
He throws downfield and incomplete. He had Cooper, and the defender fell right at the end of the play. That was unfortunate for the Titans that Cooper couldn't come up with a catch there because he was pretty much uncontested.
And I tell you what, Blue Springs was on it too. They saw the lineman downfield, and the official didn't throw the flag.
So it'll be 4th down, and it doesn't look like they're setting up for a field goal here. This, I would think, would be within Wiley's range.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a 35-yarder roughly.
With a little bit of wind at his back.
Not much, yeah. Payne from the pistol will get the call on 4th down, and he is not going to make it. He's going to take the ball to maybe the 15. He needed to get to the 13. I don't know about that call. I don't. First of all, I don't know about why. It's funny because we were talking with Coach Carswell in the coaches conversation. He mentioned kicking the field goal in the game last week. He thought, let's get the lead, stop playing catch up, and so on. Here they have an opportunity to do that. They don't even try.
No.
And then they run the ball on 4th and 5. And
honestly, it looked like he had an option, and it looked like if he would have broke it to the right, that's where the hole was.
Yeah. Now, the good news is that the Wildcats have poor field position on their own 15, but still, you hate to come away with nothing on that drive. Give up the middle, big hit, but not before getting a 1st down is Bailey.
Bailey with the run up the middle.
And that's good to move the chains, and so much for them being backed up against their own end zone. That's the reason why that's not such a big deal.
No,
ball placed at 26.
You're right.
1st and 10, Blue Springs.
Now the clock is running, and like we said, Blue Springs has no way to stop it till the end of the half. At least not with timeouts.
Right.
Trips on the right. Bailey in the backfield, single back. Under center Mansfield. He'll take the snap, gives up the middle. This time taken down. Good job with penetration that time as Keys and Brad Myers got into the backfield.
Very nice.
Prevents him from going anywhere.
No gain.
2nd and 10. Clock running, 3:23 left to go. Blue Springs will get the football coming out in the second half, by the way, in case you had forgotten. Bunch formation, Mansfield under center. Again, a single back is Bailey. On the counter, they fake it to him, throw in over the middle. They've got a man. It is caught, hit, and tackled. Willich with the catch, and that'll move the chain up to the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
1st and 10 Wildcats.
In fact, they give him the 46. Moving quickly, already up to the line. toss sweep. Bailey trying to find a hole on the left side. He'll go around. And good job by the Titans stringing it out, but also a good job by Bailey to just use the force to get himself a couple yards.
Thing there too, we keep him in bounds too, so the clock keeps running.
2-yard gain, second down.
2.5 minutes. There's still plenty of time.
I've been watching Blue Springs sideline, and the official has pulled Kelly Donahoe off the field twice already. When's he going to flag him?
I was going to say, I've never understood why you even get a warning for that. As they go up the middle again, Mansfield. Even though he did fumble it earlier, they're okay going with him apparently. That'll be a gain of 5 or so, set up a third down and short, third and about 4. But, I mean, these are adults. It's one thing, for kids or whatever, on an exciting play, I could see a warning for that. I don't see any reason why coaches at the high school level deserve a warning. I think the first time you go on the field, you should get a flag immediately. Third down, about 4. Under center I formation. Bailey, left side. He's going to get a ton of yards this time. Big hole and a touchdown saving tackle. That time by Vernon Kelly, but all the way down to about the 15 or so. I think they're going to mark him out at the 16. First and 10, Wildcats in business here for some points with a minute and a half left to go. Clock does start running again as they get the ball set up. Not sure that the
First 10 Wildcats from the Titan 15.
Wildcats don't seem to be too concerned about it. Now there is plenty of time, minute 20 and counting. They'll set up in the eye again. And they give Bailey, trying to get around the left side again. He's got a big hole down inside the 10. Let's see where they mark him out of bounds. It's inside the 5, down at about the 3. It'll be first and goal from there, looks like. And we'll stop the clock with 1:09 left to go. And they found a vulnerability there the last couple plays.
Sure have, getting outside.
Always wondered about this. See it all the time in football where nobody moves for a whole half, and then in the last,
few minutes.
Yeah, last couple of minutes, all of a sudden.
Ball's
loose. Who's going to get it? Waiting. Titan football. Second fumble by Blue Springs. That time it was Bailey. Now, it might have not been an especially good exchange. I'm not sure he ever had real good control over it, but he lost it, and the Titans fall on it again. And, boy, a huge break there.
Huge break.
With a minute 3 left to go because the Wildcats were ready to take a lead in this one.
We sure were.
See what the Titans do here. How about a fake knee?
Fake knee.
Think if they did, they'd get the 15-yard penalty?
I think so.
They actually come out in a spread formation, pistol, and it will be a delayed give up the middle. Payne sidestepped one guy, but only able to get to about the 11. It's a good pickup of 5, but
Payne with the run to the right side.
Clock stopped now with 52 seconds left to go as the Titans will burn their first timeout.
Do you take a shot?
Well, there's no point in calling a timeout if you're not going to.
Why not?
The only reason why not is where you are right now is a dangerous situation. If Coble were to get sacked, for example, I could see a situation where he could get a safety. He could lose the ball, and so on. I don't think that's a high probability thing. You can't rule it out. But since you asked, why wouldn't you? That's the reason why you wouldn't. Still got 2 more timeouts too. You could, if you wanted to, do another draw or something like that. See if you get a pretty good amount of yards and then take a shot.
I'd throw a little 5-yard out, get a first down, recoup.
Marshall is the back this time. Back to throw. Coble, he's got time. Now he steps up, throws, and lost the football, but they're calling it incomplete. Now, it was an incomplete pass, but, again, that's what I was talking about in terms of, if he'd gotten hit just a half a step earlier, it might have come loose just like that. Right. But more importantly, I've seen officials call those fumbles even though they're clearly incomplete passes before.
It's gone both ways.
You never know. So it'll be third down. Now the clock's at 46 seconds. The only problem here is if you don't make the first down, you got to punt the ball away.
Yeah.
And we did have trouble with that one other time, and so they are going to run it. And Marshall not able to get a first down. Or was that Payne? That was Payne on the run, excuse me.
That's good. Be smart, be smart. Now it goes.
Now they are going to have to punt it away because there's a slight discrepancy between the clock.
Might take a timeout.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Yeah. Wait till it goes down to one, call timeout. That'll leave about 3 seconds left to go on the clock. We'll see. Actually, it's 4.7 because they called the timeout with a little over a second left to go in the play clock. I don't know, 4.7 seconds left. You know, if it was 2 seconds left, I would almost definitely suggest this. But with 4.7, you're right on the cusp of saying to Cade Clemens, do a fake.
Well, but the bad thing about doing a fake right here where they're setting, the way that he does his rugby kick is to the short field.
Yeah.
That's the only flaw that I see.
Well, no, I'm just saying that if it was, and the reason why I said if there was 2 seconds, I'd say it doesn't matter because the clock runs out either way.
Right.
So the only thing with 4.7, I can't be guaranteed that they may not tackle him before the clock's out, and then they would have an opportunity to take a shot or conceivably, kick a field goal or something.
There's nobody deep.
They came after him. He did get it away. And the clock has timed out, so it really doesn't matter where it ends up going, but they'll stop it at the 44-yard line. And the first half is history, and we've yet to score a point.
Wow. that is something else.
Could have made a pretty good amount of money on that bet, I think, at the beginning of the game.
And you know what? Last week was homecoming. We didn't have a 20-minute half.
Nope.
And now we have a 20-minute half.
Senior night. Even though they did the whole senior presentation before the game.
Man. Never mind.
Well, that's for you and Mark to talk about.
Yes,
Won't
Mark,
that be fun?
That'll be fun.
All right. We are scoreless after one half of play here at Titan Stadium. Halftime comes up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
I got a message for you. Radio is the way to go if you want to advertise. Targeting your customers, any shape or size. Radio is a perfect way to tell them who and where you are. They listen at work, they listen at home, and you got them in that car. You got to go with radio when you want to advertise. Here we go. Watch me now. Hard rock and soft rock and easy listening too. Up and down the dialer formats just for you. Country, classic, talk, and gospel stations. Every market across the land has got a station for your situation. The cost is low, and radio is theater of the mind. You can present your information with imagination. If you want to get your message across the airways with radio. Call them. They will come right over. Remember, you got to go with radio when you want to advertise. There are lots of stations just your size.
Welcome back to halftime. Mark Files along with the coach. We got a defensive struggle. How long has it been since we've seen a ball game 0-0 at halftime here at Lee Summit West?
I can't remember this.
Well, for your pleasure, we did bring up the dance team. They are outperforming right now, and we've got them performing at halftime. While they're out there doing their thing, we do have some halftime statistics. Total offense, Blue Springs, after that nice drive they put in there in the last couple minutes of the half, have 146 yards in total offense to Lee Summit West 96. Each team has run 28 plays apiece. The average per play, 5.2 yards for Blue Springs and 3.4 for Lee Summit West. Passing, 20 yards for Blue Springs, 48 for Lee Summit West. Ben has been just off a little bit in the first half. You attribute that to a slick ball or just the cold temperatures and adjusting to it?
I think it's a combination of both, Mark. We have not seen him, this bad missing his receivers right now. This is, but again, it's a little different down there on the field.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a temperatures are definitely different. So it's something new, and it's been a year since they've had that kind of temperatures for sure. Ground game, 126 yards. That's where it is for Blue Springs High School. They've got 26 rushing attempts. They're going 4.8 yards per carry. If we look at the individuals there, of course, it's the tailback quarterback combination. You got Bailey with 101 yards on 18 attempts, and you got Kobe Mansfield, the quarterback, 25 yards on 8 attempts himself.
And I think Kelly's found something in Navy on getting out to the outside.
Well, and he's been setting that up.
Yes.
And you just pound the middle, you do the inside traps, and then you just say, give the young man the ball and let him use his speed and get outside. He was a junior last year with all of that, I'll call it drama, that they had with the 4 running backs, all very talented, and that young man just did his job, worked hard, and he carried the load for him on the end of the season, and then has come back and battled back from an injury, and he's doing a nice job. I think he's got a future if he wants to play this game in college.
Well, and I tell you what, the only bad factor there is his grades.
Yeah.
I guess early on as a freshman, sophomore, he kind of struggled in the classroom. And so now they're really working with him to qualify him to go to the next level.
Well, and that's something that everybody's got to understand. You've got to have the grades, and you've got to be able to take that entrance exam and get that nice little score on that ACT or SAT to become eligible. And then, of course, there always is the junior college route.
There is.
Turnovers, 2 for Blue Springs. Have been crucial in this ball game. And looking at the first down combination, 9 for Blue Springs, 8 for Lee Summit West. Third down conversions, Blue Springs 4 of 7. Lee Summit West is 3 of 8. Talking about the passing with Ben Coble, he's 5 of 13 for 48 yards. Kobe Mansfield's 1 of 2 for 20 yards for Blue Springs. Max Payne leads the Titans in rushing, 40 yards on 10 attempts. And then the leading receiver is Sammy Cooper with 37 yards on 3 receptions. It's going to be easy reconciling the stats in the morning on the offensive side. Defense might be a little more difficult.
Right.
So as we're talking here a little bit of high school football, and we are glad you're joining us. It is 0-0 at halftime between the home Titans and the visitors Wildcats from Blue Springs. The Titan Marching Band is now out on the field. It is an extended halftime since this is the final home game of the regular season. So what we'll do is we'll step aside and let you listen to the Titan Marching Band and watch the sights of their fall program for 2018.
Imagination is always manufacturing scenarios, both good and bad, and the ego tries to keep you trapped in the multiplex of the mind. This is the voice of the listen to it. Someone who's doing better than you. Your need for acceptance can make you invisible in this world.
You've been watching the halftime show by the Lee Summit West Marching Band. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll get up to date on some scores, and then we'll get you ready for some football here, and then start the second half. You're listening to a presentation of Back Porch Sports, Beck Rose Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage, 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
The year was 1881, and young Reuben Baylor was making his way along near the Missouri River, finding work when he could and living the only life he knew. But when he come on old Arliss Hyatt, beat to hell and near shot to death, Rube done what he could for him. He didn't know that act of kindness was going to wind up changing his whole life, but it did. Green as grass, Rube was a long way from being any kind of pistolier or shootist, but when Marshal Marion Daniels come on him and needed help with the Duncan bunch for what they'd done to Arliss, that tussle growed Rube up right quick. He stopped drifting, found friends worth looking up to, and a young woman that was right admirable.
Deer Run Trail by David Lewis. Available as an e-audiobook at audible.com.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
Welcome back to halftime, where it is 0-0. Tie score between the Titans and the Wildcats from Blue Springs. Before we get to some local scores, there's a guy that moved halfway across the country, didn't he?
He sure did. Evan moved to Indianapolis on Monday.
As you'll notice, the senior class has left their shoes on the field, marking the
Evan
end
was
of
picked
era.
up by the Indianapolis
Please give
Colts off
another
of
round of applause
the LA
to the
Rams
2018
practice squad.
senior
So
class of the Titan Pride
he's
Marching
found a new home, and we're all excited about that. He was excited. Him and Ashley got a house today, or an apartment out there today. And he goes, Dad, it's much cheaper out here than it is in LA. But no, we're really excited for him, and he's going to be the backup center right now to Ryan Kelly, and then he'll be on the extra point field goal at left guard, and then he's also the backup snapper.
So he's going to be dressing. He's wearing 67? 67. That's 3 numbers in about 90 days, right?
Yeah, and and I get a phone call here at halftime, and I'm being critiqued on my performance on the radio. So I will take that into consideration, Evan. Thank you very much. Hopefully I do a better job the second half for you.
Well, hopefully we got some more scoring for you, Evan. That's the other thing. We wanted on the home team scoring the points. Hey, talk about some halftime scores from across the city here. Let's start with Raytown, who has had a heck of a season. They're leading 18-7 over Belton. The big Catholic high school battle, St. Thomas Aquinas is up 21-14 over Bishop Miege at halftime. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see what else we've got here on the east side of the city. Kearney's up 35-0 over Raytown South at half.
Over who?
Over Raytown South.
Okay.
And we've got Liberty North up 20-14 over Lee Summit at half. And Lee Summit North is up 21-7 over Rayburn Peculiar at half. couple more scores. North Kansas City, who's having also a heck of a season. I'll tell you what, Class 5 is going to be fun. It's going to be a fun district to watch this year, isn't it? North Kansas City's up 27-14 over Oak Park, cross-city rival there. Oak Grove's up 15-6 over Harrisonville at half. Blue Springs South, 16-3 over Park Hill South at home. Platte County up 28-7 over Winnetonka. Rockhurst and CBC, that game has been moved to 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon after the Rockhurst family lost a student in the auto accident earlier in the month here. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the Rockhurst family. And safe travels to St. Louis, and let's see what they can do with CBC. I have heard CBC is a beast.
You know what? That's what kind of been year in, year out ever since I've left.
Yeah. You know, they have one loss on their record, and that was to a team out of Washington, D.C., I believe is where they was. So they just they're another program over there that just they don't rebuild, they reload.
They do.
And that's a beautiful campus over there.
It is. And I tell you what, and the advantage of being a Catholic school, too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can have kids from Illinois side come over and play.
You bet. You bet. The opponent of Lee Summit West last week, Liberty. The Blue Jays are up over St. Joe Central, 43-7. One of the other games featured on 810 Varsity tonight was Smithville and Grandview, and Smithville is up 21-0 at half. Staley Park Hill, no score in that game. That's showing scores through the second quarter. If we get an update on that one, we'll definitely share that one as well. And that's what we've got to this point. Unless you want to hear about Adrian and Jasper, they got a barn burner. It's 20-14 down south. Cass Midway, Appleton City, 7-0 at half. Archie and Drexel, 8-0 at half. And here at Lee Summit West, the teams are back out on the field. We've got a little less than a minute on the game clock. They'll give them 3 minutes to get themselves set. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout here for some commercial breaks. And when we come back, you'll have Joel and the coach bringing you all the second half action and getting you ready for hopefully some good football. What do you think? You're listening to a presentation of Back Porch Sports, Beckbro Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
Welcome back out here to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Coach Royce Boehm as the Lee Summit West Titans taking on the Blue Springs Wildcats. One half of football is over. Nothing to show for it.
Nothing
scoreless.
to show.
How about that?
810 Varsity's asking us if that's
the score is actually true. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you look at it, on a computer screen, and you say, "Oh, that just means they haven't updated anything since the beginning of the game."
You're exactly right. And people are probably thinking the same thing about the the Staley and Park Hill game that's at 0-0 at halftime.
See, Staley just can't let us do anything without copying us, can they?
I know, doggone them.
It's kind of funny the way that works out, isn't it?
It is. And hey, Joel, have I told you? It's cold up here.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me.
Gee, Christmas.
Anybody got anything to burn?
Crap.
Yeah, one of those nights.
Hey, but I did leave you a cookie right there.
I see that. Can I burn it?
You can burn it in your belly and try to warm you up.
I'll try. So the Titans won the toss and received, so obviously the Wildcats going to get the football to start things off, and they move the ball pretty good. The only thing that honestly has kept this Titans in the game scoreless is the fact that the Wildcats have turned the ball over a couple times.
They have at crucial times too, Joel.
Yeah.
I tell you, they've had opportunities. Blue Springs had 2 opportunities to punch the ball in and score, and then they fumbled, which was a blessing for us.
Mm-hmm.
Blessing for us.
This is a good cookie.
Isn't that good?
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, Chick-fil-A, very good.
I like their sandwiches and chips too, but unfortunately they never give me any of those anymore. We used to get them every week.
I know. Luckily, Michael Schieber, head basketball coach at West, hooked me up. Brought me a bag.
I did that on the way here a few weeks ago, coming from Lawrence. When you go down Iowa, down toward the what they now call the South Lawrence Traffic Way, which is the K-10 extension that used to be years ago that K-10 would just turn into 23rd Street and eventually Clinton Parkway. And they extended it further out south now. That's been several years ago. And so they call it the South Lawrence Traffic Way. And so if you're going down Iowa past 23rd down to, it's roughly at 33rd Street, roughly, where it runs into K-10. At somewhere around 27th, there's a Chick-fil-A. So it's right on the way out. And I thought I'd stop there and get a sandwich. And I got the real waffle fries, not just the chips waffle fries.
Right.
I just figured it was tradition.
But I tell you what, their chips are good, though.
Well, Michael Wiley with the ball teed up at the 40 will squib it down the middle of the field. You got to wonder if something's going on with Wiley today. Because normally he'll kick those balls.
The coach is applauding.
Well, the only reason why I say that is because we didn't try the field goal when we were clearly in what would normally be his range a couple of times. And then there, where normally he would just kick it out of the back of the end zone.
Not unless the coaching staff has seen Blue Springs return some.
Yeah, it could be.
And can he get it into the end zone on this cold night?
With the cold, I don't know. Maybe the ball just isn't flying very well because of the temperature. Who knows?
Oh my goodness!
Flag down.
Titans look like they went across, and it'll be offside. So
Offsides against the Titans.
Boy, before anything happens, we are already giving them 5 yards.
Yes, we are. Mental mistakes, and I tell you what, that just frustrates Coach Parks to death.
And again, it's that carry up the middle. This is exactly how their first drive started, where we gave him 5 yards, and then he carried, although he wasn't quite as successful. Now there's a late flag. That's in the territory of some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness, usually. I don't know if somebody taunted someone or... It's a personal foul against the Wildcats. So somebody did something they shouldn't have done at the bottom of that pile, presumably.
And by his body language, it looks like it might have been 55 Conrad Raleigh.
Well, that'll cost him 15 yards. Should be 15 yards from the spot. And it was post-play, which I think... would normally make it it would still be a second down, because that was a second. I mean, it was a first down play,
right?
But it was at the end of the play, so it is going to stay second down, but it's going to be 2nd and 16
Back him up to the 24.
instead of 2nd and 1, because like I said, you didn't quite get the first down on the play. So 2nd and 16, bunch formation, 1 man in the backfield, and that of course is Bailey. And he'll get the call left side. He bounces off 1 tackle, trying to get around. Does. Kelly couldn't knock him out, and finally they force him out of bounds up near a first down. I believe he got one all the way across the 40-yard line. Well, they must have had about 6 chances to try and tackle him and just kept bouncing off. You got to wrap him up.
Tell you what, he looked like Hunt for the Chiefs there, leading with that head.
1st and 10, Blue Springs.
Sure he didn't look more like Okoye with the Chiefs?
Well, the way Hunt's been
but I know what you mean,
here
yes.
lately.
I don't think he's going to get the same kind of fine.
No.
So 1st and 10 from the 41. Mansfield under center. Gives Bailey up the middle. He'll gain about 2 or 3 and then was pushed backwards. And it'll be a 2nd down and 7. And so, like I said, the end of the last quarter, they were able to move the football on a pretty good drive. Got all the way down into the red zone. In fact, they were 1st and goal from about the 3, lost the football. The Titans need to be able to stop them, especially as sluggish as their own offense has been. Although they've moved the football at times themselves and have managed to stall out and then not try for points.
Yeah, it looks like Kelly's really trying to slow or let the time run, because he pulled him out about 5 seconds left, then called the play.
Mansfield keeps it.
Just eating that clock up.
So keeper again from Mansfield.
46.
And he tried to go over the right side. Did gain a couple of yards, but that was the shortest keeper that he's had so far.
3rd down.
And it sets up a 3rd and 5 here. 10:15 left to go, 3rd quarter. No score in this game. Titans still stacking that line. They bring somebody up showing blitz. Here's a toss sweep and a good job coming up on Bailey. The Titans looking for that toss sweep, and they were able to contain him to only a yard. It'll be about 4th and 4. Although they haven't brought in a punting unit, although, like I said before, their quarterback is also their punter.
15, Jake Grauberger.
And it could be a quick punt here. Yeah, it looks like he's set back a little deeper.
Yeah, he's deeper than normal. Nobody's back deep for the Titans, but they are going to do the quick kick. And again, nobody deep for the Titans, so it's going to bounce at the 10, go inside the 5, and come to rest down at about the 1, maybe the 2. Wow. Boy, that was a mistake for the Titans not having anybody back. I mean, you need to have that safety back there just in case. Yeah. Because once it happened, there was nothing they were going to be able to do. So the Titans will get the ball at the 2-yard line. And that'll be their first shot at it here this 3rd quarter. Still a scoreless game. Good job by the Titans defense, though, to stiffen up.
It was. Good step up there.
So Coble and company comes out.
Looks like a little Sammy Cooper back there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with the ball on the 2. He sends Wilson in motion, fakes and keeps it himself. He sidesteps one tackler, goes up the middle, and Sammy Cooper with a run out to the 15-yard line.
Nice job.
Pickup of about 13 on 1st and 10. That'll move the chains and get them out of harm's way.
It will.
They mark him down to 14, but a good run.
Tackle man at the 14, 1st and 10 Titans.
Titans' first chance with the football here in the second half after stopping the Wildcats after they moved a bit. Coble will give, and it's Max Payne, and he'll get across the 15 to about the 17 maybe. Pickup of 2 or 3.
With a handoff, Payne with the carry.
And so that'll set up a 2nd down and 7 from there.
Tackle made by number 8, Zipsy. 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7.
Titans not in any big hurry themselves. Play clock down to 10. Coble will give it up the middle again. Payne trying to find himself a small hole. Gets across the 20 to the 21. Pretty good run and a very makeable 3rd down and about 2 or 3.
Payne runs the ball up the middle. Tackle made at the 22.
Off left tackle that time. Following the left guard.
2 for Lee West.
Wilson comes in for Payne. And he'll split out as they're going to go empty backfield on the 3rd down and about 2 or 3. Now Wilson goes in motion. They hand it off to him, trying to get around the end. With speed, he'll get that first down, be forced out of bounds. Ooh, and then he's taken down well outside of the bounds. But it doesn't look like there's going to be a flag. Up to the 29. That should move the chains, though. And the Titans will have a first down.
First down.
Kind of a long ways out. I mean, it was all one motion, and that's probably why they didn't throw the flag, but it was still he was 3 or 4 yards into the out of bounds area before they
very questionable.
Yeah. Or put another way, it wouldn't have surprised me if he did get a flag. Carswell comes in to be the H-back here. And a give, Wilson going with speed, and he's able to get on the outside, but then he's taken down. Boy, he slowed down just a little bit as he saw the footsteps coming. I think if he had just kept up his speed, he might have actually been able to run through that.
Got to the edge there.
Yeah, but it'll still be a pickup of 3, second down and 7. Clock running with 7:17 left to go. Here in the third quarter. This is the Titans' first drive of the half. Scoreless game. And they've kept it on the ground this whole time so far. Coble from the shotgun. One man in the backfield. Back to throw. Now he'll step up. Looks. He's going to pull it down and hit. Knocked out of bounds around the 33. It'll be maybe a gain of a yard or 2.
Real good coverage there.
Yeah, but a smart idea to pull the ball down and just get what he could. It'll be a third down about 6, 7 or so.
Something a little different, too, that Blue Springs is doing to us right now is they're double covering both Cade and
Cardell.
Cardell, yeah.
Which should leave somebody open, by the way. Pistol formation here on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Coble with time throws. It's caught Cardell, and he'll get that first down. Needed the 40, got the 41.
Number 25, Trevor Cardell.
And that time it was only the single coverage.
Very nice.
First down.
And the Titans move the chains again. Still only
Sterling needs to get in his rhythm right here.
Only up to their own 41-yard line, but they have been moving the football. Goodall comes out and Carswell comes in. Cooper in the slot on the right side. And Wilson in the backfield. They'll give it to him on a Statue of Liberty trying to get around the edge. He broke one tackle, slips and falls as he gets up to the 45, pick up a 4. And, they may be noticing here that, they've been trying to run hard against this Wildcat team, and it looks like with Wilson they're just trying to go the speed route, and they're having a little more success with it.
They are. And I tell you what, the offensive line is really playing well right now.
Yeah, it's not that they've been playing badly before, except that the difference is that the Wildcats don't have the speed to catch up.
Right.
So second down, about 6. And it will be a zone read. Keeper for Sammy Cooper on the direct snap. And he goes up the middle with for a couple to the 47, and it'll set up.
I didn't like that spot.
No, I thought so too. I thought he had about 2 more yards than that. Maybe they saw a knee go down that we didn't, but it'll set up a third down about 4.
Third down and 4 for the Titans.
Coble back in to take the snap here from a pistol. I believe that's Payne behind him. Trips on the left. And on play action, throwing on the slant, and it is caught. And should be good for another first down, Cardell. And I tell you what, he had somebody all over his back. Managed to make the catch anyway.
Absolutely.
Looked to me like that was interference, and then the flag came out. Didn't matter because he made the catch, but he had somebody all over his back. So again, they move the chains by only getting the ball maybe 11, 12 yards on a first down. But they do get it into Wildcat territory. Clock continues to run, 4:43 left to go. Back to throw. And Coble, no one to throw to. He'll just throw it near side, threw it away. So he was looking for Clemens. And it'll set up a 2nd and 10. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Coble has not been immediately pressured, but they have done such a good job in coverage that, usually he just hasn't had anybody to throw to.
Right. No, they're covered very well right now tonight.
47.
So 2nd down and 10, Twins on either side. One in the backfield is Careswell. Back to throw. Again, throwing far side. He's got a man, but incomplete. And just right off the hands of Cade Clemens.
Sure was. That was first down.
Yeah, he should have been able to come up with that.
3rd down.
And it'll be 3rd and 10. So, usually in a situation like this where their secondary apparently seems to be good enough to keep up with our secondary on just straight out runs, normally you would go to different types of routes, like crossing routes or something like that, where you set up a situation that would give your team an advantage. And I haven't seen them do it yet, but we'll see. 3rd down and 10 here. Trips on the right. Coble back to throw with time. Now he steps up. He's able to escape one man. Throws. Is that going to give him the catch? I don't know. No, incomplete. He would have been short of a first down anyway. Intended for Cooper. And setting up a punting situation on 4th and 10. So good drive, but again stalls out before they can get any points. So you can set up crossing routes. Sometimes you can set up a stop and go or something like that, or an out and up. I mean, he has had enough time to allow something like that to develop. And it's going to be a fake. Clemens on the right side looking for running room. He's going to get a first down. Cade Clemens made one man miss and then got the first down.
And there was no second guessing that one. He was running the football.
Yeah. And I think that's something they saw the last time when he took that run out there and eventually decided to kick it, and it didn't go very well.
Right.
But I think that the coaching staff saw what could develop and maybe told him this time, hey, look, no option, just
do it.
Go it. Yeah, go for it and see what happens. And, well,
First and 10 for the
once
Titans.
again, Sterling Edwards, you
35 yards.
knew that you were going to see some unexpected plays in this game. And that's another one. 1st and 10 from the 35 of the Wildcats. Back to throw Coble. He'll throw. He's got Cardell, and did he come down with it?
Beautiful.
Caught inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Trevor Cardell into double coverage.
Beautiful.
And managed to come down with it. When he came down, I saw he did catch it, but the only question was, did he get the foot inbounds?
Yes.
And
double covered, too.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Great throw by Ben Coble.
It sure was. Titans in business here, 1st and goal.
1st and goal for the Titans from the 8-yard line.
They come out in a pistol with Max Payne behind Coble, and Careswell, the H-back on the right. And it'll be a give to Payne up the middle. Oh, he was grabbed by big number 99, Sullivan. Got him, looked almost like by the head.
He did.
I thought for a minute he might get a horse collar, but no gain on the play.
Ethan Siebold.
That's Sammy Sullivan on the catch, or on the tackle. Or Simeon Sullivan.
There's an offensive lineman out there, 56, not even on the roster.
And touchdown. Touchdown. Titans on the pass to Clemens. Play action to Payne, and then he threw over the middle on a quickie to Clemens, and he managed to get across the line. And the Titans finally break that scoreboard drought, and it's 6-0. Snap back, ball down, kick up. It is high, long, and it is good. 3:08 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Titans finally get on the board. 7-0 our score. They have the lead. Back with a kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. That number 56 you were mentioning is Jared Meisberger, who's been moved from defense to offense, and because of that, they had to change his number from 97 that he was wearing to 56 so he could play on the offensive line. So that's why he's not listed on the roster under that number. And a little bit of a pooch kick, and it was fielded short up at about the 33 up to the 35, but good field position for the Wildcats. And I still don't understand this kicking situation.
Not, like I said, not unless they've returned some that we don't know about.
Or that there's something going on with Michael's leg.
It sure didn't look that way on that field goal.
So 3:05 left to go here in the quarter. The first time the Wildcats will have the ball trailing in the game, or anybody else for that matter. Toss sweep. Bailey on the left side. He'll pick up about 6.
Bailey with the run to the left side.
And it'll be second down and short from there. The other good thing about that drive was it took plenty of time off the clock.
It did.
Second down and 4.
Not to keep their offense off, but to give our defense some rest.
Well, and also get me to some warmth.
Bunch formation again up the middle. Bailey, he's hit and tackled as he got just across the 45-46. He should be shy of a first down by maybe a yard to set up a third and short.
But you know the weather guys will probably get us here, and it'll be a tie ball game, go to overtime. We'll be out here till 11.
That's right. Quarterback keeper for a first down. Mansfield was thrown back, but he got the first down easily. And it'll be first and 10 up near midfield. This is one of those games that if they do, like, you know, ends regulation 7-7, and then it goes to like 6 overtimes, and when people read the score, board at the end of the game, they see, 42-41 or something like that, and like, oh wow, what an offensive shootout! And it turns out,
Yeah.
There's Bailey. Oh, he was hit. Nice penetration that time. I think that was Grauberger got the first.
Up the middle by number 15, Jake Grauberger.
And no gain on the play, second and 10. Down to a minute and a half left to go here in this third quarter.
No gain on the play, second down and 10.
Ball right at midfield. Mansfield comes up to the line. Again, the bunch formation, a couple of H-backs. And on play action, rolling to the right side, throwing over the right, incomplete, intended for Willich, and right in his hands, and he couldn't come up with it. Bit of a wounded duck as far as the throw was concerned, but it was certainly catchable.
And Cam Carswell had a little pressure right there too, so
that was probably why it didn't look so good.
Right.
But he still got it to him, and he was pretty much all by himself. So it'll be third and 10. Bailey comes back out in a deep running back position. Under center on third and 10. Toss sweep. Bailey trying to find a hole, and he's hit and tackled for no gain. Nice little step up on the play. I believe that was Keys again. Or it might have been Myers, excuse me. Oh, it was Keys.
Yeah, Keys did a great job there.
Yeah.
Big tackle on the play by number 49, Elliott Keys.
And it'll set up a punting situation. Think they'll go for a fake here?
I doubt it now that they're down a
Defense
score.
holds on third down. Brings up fourth.
I'm just saying that's what the Titans did.
Oh, I know.
Same position, same situation, kind of. And it is their quarterback, Mansfield, who punts. High snap, and he does step into it. Line drive punt, but this time Titans have somebody back. It's Cooper at the 5, up to the 10, 15, near sideline 20, hit and knocked down as he got up near the 25. And the Titans will take over 1st and 10, and again, this is their first time with the ball in the lead.
23-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 Titans.
They'll mark him down at the 24. 1st and 10. And what's going on? Somebody hurt?
Somebody's down.
Yeah. An injury timeout. Over on the far side, it's a Wildcat player. Can't see the number because somebody's in front of him. This is just to waste time and make things cold for us.
Yeah, it is.
Clearly.
Dr. Freevert is here tonight on the sideline.
Is that him heading out?
Uh-huh.
Down to 29.2 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. They're helping him up, looks like. And he will walk off under his own power. That would be Austin Stuller, one of their linebackers.
It looks like favoring that shoulder, their left shoulder.
Could be. So the Titans 1st and 10 from their own 24 with the lead of 7-0 after a Cade Clemens touchdown catch of about 8 yards. From the pistol, it's a give. And Max Payne, he was swung backwards and taken down for loss. Now they should give him forward progress up to around the 28, but let's see where they mark it.
Brought down at the 28.
Looks like they gave him a pretty good spot. And by good, I don't mean advantageous. I mean an accurate spot. And it'll be 2nd down. And I imagine it'll be 2nd down when we come back in the 4th quarter. The time has expired. 12 minutes of football left to go. Only one score in the whole game. 7-0 our score. Titans on top. 4th quarter after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and A10Varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Bain. Senior night for Lee Summit West. And they lead it over the Blue Springs Wildcats 7-0 our score.
Oh,
Titans with the football.
People don't know I'm about 5 feet behind Joel. It's a little warmer back here in the press box, so I think I'll stand for the 4th quarter.
On the 2nd down play, his own read, it's Cooper.
Ooh.
Oh, and he almost was able to escape, but not quite. No gain on the play.
That's the easiest I've ever seen Sammy go down.
He was spun around and tried to keep his balance, but just couldn't quite.
Made by number 53, Nicholas Henderson.
Sorry for the snuffling over the mic here, but my nose is running really bad. So, Evan, don't critique me, Evan.
You do realize saying, Evan, don't critique me is like, you might as well.
Joel, he called me at halftime.
Did he?
To critique me on my speaking.
Back to throw over the middle. Nice. And a good catch by Sammy Cooper. Again into double coverage. I wonder if they haven't said to Ben that, sometimes you're just going to have to force it in there because this has been such good coverage.
And I tell you what, in Blue Springs, it's covering us very well, and we're
one of the reasons I think is because they've been able to get to Coble by only rushing 4.
Right.
And so, you can drop 7 into coverage, you're going to be able to cover people.
Exactly.
1st and 10 Titans up at the 41. Back to throw Coble, trying to set up a screen. Oh, incomplete, and lucky for the Titans. Overthrew Sammy Cooper on the screen,
Mark
and he kind of tipped it up.
Yeah, Mark and I talked about this at halftime about it could be the ball. It could be slick.
Yeah.
Why Ben's having some trouble.
Maybe it's overinflated. Do you know on Mythbusters, they broke up the myth that if you put helium in the ball for kickers that it actually helps out? There was always a myth that some teams tried to do that. Wow. I imagine some of them probably did at some point. And there's a give. It's Marcion Marshall. Hit in the backfield, broke a tackle, and able to get a couple yards, but he'll still set up a 3rd and long. And so, yeah, they did a test, using little machines or whatever to simulate kicking the ball, punts and whatnot. And it turned out, even though it had the helium in it, that it didn't help it go further or even increase the hang time.
I was wondering if New England experienced with that.
You never know. All right, so 3rd down, about 8. Ball's on their own 42. Empty backfield for Coble. Here they come after him. He'll throw one down near side, looking for Cooper. Incomplete. Again, double coverage. He was pretty much stride for stride with Ziggy Alfo on the coverage. But he also had some safety help over the top. Well, and Cooper got a hand on, but couldn't hang on.
Think Coach Careswell will go for it here again?
No.
Come on now. Come on now.
You just asked me what I thought.
Because Blue Springs is now overloaded this side.
Yeah.
So you trick us once.
High snap, and he does get the kickoff. And a fair catch called for and made at the 20-yard line. So that's where the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 as James Michael makes the fair catch. There is 9:59 left to go in regulation time.
At the 20-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10. Blue Springs.
Titans on top 7-0. First and 10, Mansfield under center will give up the middle. Bailey, he's hit at the line. Trying to push the pile forward, gets a couple 3 yards on the play, even though he's hit right at the line, and it'll set up a 2nd down and 7. So this is very speculative, and it goes way into the future at this point. But just out of curiosity, if you're Kelly and they manage to score at the last second a touchdown, and it's this. Yeah, would you go for 2 or would you go for 1? Toss sweep. Here's Bailey. Oh, he lost his footing.
I'm trying to remember what year that was. And we played them over there, and they went for 2. And got it.
And in a game like this, I'm not so sure that. I don't know.
No doubt. Because the way the defenses are playing right now.
Well, if you knew it was overtime and you knew you had to defend the Titan offense from 25 yards out and you yourselves.
Well, and if you're thinking about playoffs, for Blue Springs to beat us, that would move them up.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a long way away, but I was just kind of curious. I formation here. Toss Bailey trying to get around. He's being chased. Cahill hit him and took him down. Wouldn't let go. Good job by Cahill.
I tell you what, the Titans are bringing the wood tonight.
Yeah.
Avion felt that one.
Yeah, stopped him. It'll set up a 4th down. And I'm bringing the punting unit on, except like I said before, the kicker is the. Now they'll bring the punting unit on.
Put somebody back.
Yeah, and I think they are. Here comes Cooper. They need to get somebody off the field, though.
Ball placed at the 27.
Which they finally do to make sure they got the right number out there. So Cooper back deep. Punting formation. Mansfield standing at about the 50. Another high snap, but he gets it off. Line drive kick. It'll bounce toward the sideline. Oh, Cooper came very close to touching that, but didn't. And the Titans will get it at the 30-yard line. 7:56 left to go. Good defensive stand there for the Titans. Like I said, especially Andrew Cahill, who has come up with quite a few hits tonight.
Right, he has.
And on that one in particular, because there have been a few times where he has bounced off. I mean, Bailey is such a big kid.
He is. He's something else.
And Andrew is not,
But
he's not small, but he's not very big, and so he's bounced off him a couple of, and that time he grabbed onto that jersey and just would not let go.
And did not lay off either. For his size, he brings the wood. I tell you what, there's a 10-degree difference of weather back here than it is up there by that window.
Titans in the pistol. Careswell the H-back, and it'll be a give, trying to follow Careswell. Max Payne, and he'll head up to the 35-36.
Payne with the run up the middle.
And it'll be a pickup of 5, second down and 5. A little surprised that they've abandoned that speed run that Wilson was doing, because they were relatively effective with it. Even if you just do it as
chewing the clock up too.
Well, yeah. I mean, even if you were to, alternate it from time to time, that would make it much harder for their defense to get used to anything. And here is Coble on play action, throwing near side, caught Clemens. Did he get a leg in bounds? Yeah, he did. Up near midfield, 49-yard line, Cade Clemens. That'll move the chains, 1st and 10 Titans.
Release Summit West, first down.
Stops the clock, 7:15 left to go. But yeah, I mean, I if it were me, I would, alternate them.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I might even have a couple of plays where they were both on the field.
Right.
Twins on the left now. Again, the pistol formation for the Titans. And it's Payne. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to midfield.
Payne with a short gain on the carry. Tackled in midfield.
Under 7 minutes left to go now here in regulation time. Titans hanging on to a 7-0 lead. One score in the third quarter has been it for today. Coble from the shotgun. Payne will take the carry up the middle again. And able to get across midfield to about the 48, but it'll set up a 3rd down and 7.
Blue Springs is doing a better job of closing the gaps up there. It's not as easy as Payne to move, run through there in the second half.
Or find the holes.
Uh-huh.
Imagine they'll go to the air here on 3rd down and 7. And on play action, they toss it to Careswell. He makes the catch, but he was hit almost immediately. Good job defensively coming up with from the linebacker position is Van Heck.
I didn't quite understand that.
They've tried that play, I don't know what, maybe 4 times this season, and it has never come close to working well.
No.
That's one of the first times he's actually caught the ball.
Right.
But even when, it just... All right, so Clemens standing back at the 38. And they snap it to him. He'll kick a high but very short kick. And it takes a wildcat bounce and was stopped at about the 33. So I don't know about that.
It'll be 1st and 10, Blue Springs.
Clemens has had a hard time kicking today, but part of it is because he just sort of hesitated with the ball. It's not like he's stepping into it a lot of times.
Yeah, but that's what you get when you do that rugby style.
Well, but that wasn't even a rugby style kick. He just stood there. It was like he was waiting just to see if he could, mess up their coverage. But anyway, Titans defense being called upon to step up again. 5:24 left to go, regulation time. Bailey deep in the backfield gets the handoff, trying to go right side, finding a hole. Kelly got in his way, and he's dragged down about the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 7, 2nd and 3. Well, he sure has a deep drop, doesn't he? Bailey, in terms of just where he's set up.
Can you hear me?
Okay. I'll take a look in a second.
1 yard gain on the run.
On the keeper that time, Mansfield. Not much. I'm guessing your
Ball placed at the 42-yard line. 1 yard to go. It's third down.
thing may come out here. It'll be third down and short.
Quarterback keeps it for a gain of 2.
So Mansfield gets the first down.
It's almost like it's a short.
Could be.
Joel, if you don't want me on there with you, let me know.
Nothing, huh?
No.
All right, tell you what. Use this. Run up the middle. Bailey. He'll get a first down and more. Finally dragged down. You might have to turn him up a little bit.
Bailey with a 13-yard carry.
Yeah, now you got me.
Yeah.
Brought down at the Titan 41.
Just Joel really said, if you don't want me on, just let me know.
Are you kidding? I don't want to be on by myself. Could be this cable too. Who knows?
I mean, honestly, it was cutting in and out, so.
Yeah.
Hard hitting out there.
You probably should turn him up just a little bit. So it'll be second down.
3-yard run to the left side by Bailey.
After Bailey gets about 3. Ball on the 38-yard line in Titan territory. Clock down to 3:23. I formation. Got somebody else in instead of Bailey, and now I think we're going to get our first timeout for the Wildcats.
Well, I tell you what, Joel, what you talked about just a little bit earlier is kind of starting to look like it could
it's a possibility.
Be a true possibility that Blue Springs comes down here and scores and possibly goes for 2 for the win.
I don't know. First of all, I think it would have to be a last-second score for that for me to do it, to even try it. I mean, in other words, if they come down and they score and there's like, say, 20 seconds left,
yeah,
I don't think you do that because there's always a chance that the Titans could get a field goal.
Very true.
Of course, it is an advantage to the Titans that all they got to do is keep them out of the end zone. I formation, Bailey's back in. They'll give it to him up the middle, and with some running room still on his feet inside the 15 and forced out of bounds at about the 14. And there's a flag down. Happened out of bounds. Was there a retaliation? What did you do? There was a retaliation at the very end. What did you turn up earlier?
Number 3.
There's nobody on number 3.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, did you put the... Oh, you put the other headset on. Okay.
Can you hear me?
No. But that's because I turned you down.
Really, Joel? You want to do this all by yourself. That's all right.
How about that? Actually, has this been this way this time?
No.
Okay. So, the penalty against
Face mask against Blue Springs.
Blue Springs,
Whoa,
a face
face
mask, which I believe happened out of bounds after the play was over. Still, something's happened to me, too. I don't know what happened over here. Oh, I think you just may have me up a little high. I don't know.
Turn this one back down, or?
No, that's okay. Yeah, we can turn that off. Just turn it off because I don't even have it in the... So that's a big penalty for Blue Springs. Now it's 1st and 10. But the ball comes all the way back to the 28-yard line. I formation, Twins on the left. It's Bailey up the middle. He's hit, comes off of the first hit, and then he's down as Nathan Lyon ended up getting him down. They'll give him some forward progress. But I tell you what, he tried to bounce off a first tackle and go and change field direction, and in this case, it really did not help.
No, not at all.
Brings up second down.
So, second down and a ton. The ball back at the 38-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, it was a couple of weeks ago, these guys were playing Lee Summit.
And now it looks like they're going to burn their second time out.
And Kelly Donahoe at the end of the game threw a Hail Mary.
2:21 left
to score for a touchdown to beat them.
Wow. So we'll see how it goes here. And that's it's important, though, that they burn their second time out here, too.
Yes, it is.
Because, now he's only got the one left. And they're, a running team. And they've got to get in the end zone.
Right.
And it's...
Do I sound the same to you guys?
Yeah, you sound okay.
Okay. It's just kind of echoing in my... It's echoing here.
Where did you plug him in over here? It's kind of loud for him. Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
So
Thanks, Mark.
after the timeout, second down and a ton.
Well, I tell you what, Kelly's got a bunch of tricks up his sleeve, too.
From the shotgun, Mansfield play action. He'll chuck one down. He's got a man, and it is incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Intended for Willich, and he had it in both hands, and then Wilson came over and slapped it out.
Touchdown.
Yeah, that was, if not a touchdown, it was certainly a first and goal from inside the 5.
And it looks like he got injured on that one, too.
Yeah, slow and getting up.
Ball placed at the 38.
Boy, I guess he slapped him pretty hard, didn't he?
He did.
It's third down.
Think they'll go for it on fourth down?
I say that they have to.
Yeah. 2:14 still left to go. They don't have the one timeout. Still plenty of time at this point. Play clock's down to 4, though. 3, 2, and takes the snap. Rolling to the right side. Being chased by Grauberger. Mansfield's going to throw. It's incomplete. Right in and out of the hands of Marzoff. And it'll be 4th and 20.
Quarterback by number 15, Jake Grauberger.
The other important thing about them burning all their timeouts is that if they do turn the ball over here, the Titans, I don't even know that they need a first down to run out the clock.
I don't think so.
They may not.
Once again, 20 yards to go. It's 4th down.
I think they should run it.
Would you ever have imagined 7-0?
Well, it's not over yet.
No, it's not, but still.
I'm telling you, the way they've been playing, I might give it to Bailey and take my chances rather than trying to throw it. But they are going to throw. Back to throw Mansfield. He'll heave it downfield. He's got a man, and it is caught. Touchdown, Wildcats. Tapusoa right down the middle of the field. How do you allow something like that if you're the Titans?
Didn't I just talk about this?
Yeah.
With the Lee Summit game? Holy crud.
Now, the good news is there's still 2:03 left to go, and it's 7-6 with the extra point to come.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's why I was saying you don't go for 2 generally with 2 minutes left to go because it's not a high percentage thing.
They just called timeout, the final one.
Well, it's because they don't have her holder out. They may be discussing what they want to do.
I think they are.
As well.
And Blue Springs will take their final timeout.
But still, just defensively, again, for the Titans, how do you allow single coverage in that thing? Well, how do you not have 5 guys standing right at the
No idea.
at the first down marker?
And I'm sorry, why aren't you tackling him? Take a flag.
Yeah. Heck, in fact, it would still be 4th down. If that ball was in the air and you literally tackled him to the ground, it would still be 4th down. It would be 4th and 5 or so. Because it's not an automatic first down. It's a 15-yard penalty, and they were 4th and 20.
Here they go. Joel called it.
Offense is on the field. Looks like a wildcat. No, it's Mansfield under center. I formation. Going for 2. To take the lead. And it is Bailey. That was kind of a tough snap. He's trying to get around the left side. He's hit and tackled, and the 2-point conversion fails. And that all happened on the exchange.
Wow.
It was a bad exchange between Mansfield and Bailey. They kind of bumped into each other. He tried to change.
And now, Lisa West.
No timeouts. Yeah, yes. They're going to have to try an onside kick here, obviously. They'll try an onside kick.
You're right.
If they get the onside kick, then they still have a chance. If they don't, then the Titans can just kneel it out.
Right.
Because there's no timeouts anymore. They use that last one before that play. So they'll try an onside kick. Maybe they've been watching Titans tape, and they'll just kick the ball into that soft area. Go get it.
No kid. Oh, man.
Hands team on the field for the Titans, but they have given up the onside kick before.
They have.
Wow. It's almost a little unfortunate certainly unfortunate for the Wildcats, but you feel bad that a game comes down to one play and a bad exchange doesn't even allow them to try it the way they wanted to. Onside kick. Will it even go 10 yards?
Nope.
Looked like it was touched before the 10 yards, but I think the Titans got it anyway. Carswell got it. So the Titans will have possession. I didn't actually see a flag come out. Not that it matters.
No. But he did touch the ball.
Sure looked like it. So 2:03 left to go. Titans should be able to kneel this out. Well, I mean, you got a 25-second clock. They cannot stop it. So they may actually have to run some plays here, not just kneel it. It is going to be Cooper to take this snap. And on a quarterback draw, Cooper, both hands on the ball, gets hit around midfield.
Looked like face mask.
Yeah, and there's a flag down. They'll give him about 3 yards. The thing is, with a 25-second clock instead of a 40-second clock like you have in pro football, 2 minutes and 3 seconds won't necessarily go off, and it is a face mask against the
Face mask against Blue Springs.
Blue Springs Wildcats. It was only the 5-yard variety, but it'll be a 1st and 1 or 1st and 2 with the ball on about the 42-yard line. Now they will start the clock up, though. It's still 1st down after the penalty. Coble is back out there with Payne behind him.
Be smart.
Clock's down to 3 seconds.
Movement on us.
Yeah. Now here's the question, though. Does that stop the clock, or do they give them another 25 seconds they can run off?
Ball start against the Titans.
Because actually, in this situation, I think at this point they could kneel the ball down. And depending on how quickly they set it up again, they should be able to kneel it out at this point. Because there's only 92 seconds left.
At the 48.
So it's 50, depends on how quickly they set it up.
First and 8 Titans.
No, and then they start the clock again.
And a fresh 25.
Yeah, there's no reason why we couldn't just kneel it out at this point. Yeah, why not just keep false starting it until we're done? But yeah, I don't know why would you run a play here? You should be able to just kneel it out. They do give it to Payne, trying to go on the right side. He's got some running room, and he is knocked down, stayed in bounds.
Payne with the run.
Gets down inside the 28, and that will definitely do it in terms of not needing to run any more plays.
Coach is already victory on it.
But they really could have done that on that previous play because of the fact that the clock was running. So we're down under a minute now. But at least that way Max Payne got to pad his stats a little bit.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, why not?
Made Mark work a little bit.
So victory formation for the Titans. How about a fake kneel?
Yeah.
Takes a knee. They'll have to run one more play. And then it'll be a successful senior night for the Titans.
7-6. Unreal.
Because of a missed 2-point conversion. They will have to run. Actually, they don't have to run another play. They waited until after the 25 seconds went down before they reset it. So that'll do it. Clock runs down. 5 seconds left to go. And the Lee Summit West Titans have defeated the Blue Springs Wildcats 7-6. The final score. How about that?
Wow.
What a finish to this one. Well, we will take a break, come back with post-game coming up in just a few minutes. 7-6 the final. This is Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Back Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back to the post game. Got the coach here with a few numbers for us while Joel tries to make sure that he gets some numbers in there. We're flapping his arms. Oh, we're trying to get the window down. We got a break there.
Oh, that's all right. No, while he's doing that, once again, the final score ended up 7-6.
Running these commercials. I didn't see
Joel and the producer getting into it.
It's freaking freezing in here.
But once again, 7-6.
Why did you think I asked if we needed the clock anymore?
Stats are pretty even.
Yeah, well, the game was pretty even. It's a 1-point game.
No doubt. Total offense for Blue Springs, 269. Lee Summit West, 257. Number of plays, 51 for Blue Springs, 58 for Lee Summit West. So that's huge.
So the 2-point conversion count as a play?
I don't know.
According to Mark, it does.
All right, Coach Carswell just told them something, and they went ape crap down there, so I wonder what that was. Sure was told Jeff Driscoll was back. Doggone him.
Yeah.
All right, passing, 123 for the Titans, 58 for Blue Springs. Rushing attempts, 45 for Blue Springs, 33 for West. Sorry, nose is running. Turnovers. This is a big one. I mean, Blue Springs had 2 crucial turnovers.
Oh, yeah.
And Lee Summit West had none.
And the second one of the 2 turnovers was really the killer for them because it was at the end of a drive where they had taken the ball inside the 5, and they were first in goal and fumbled the football, and then that definitely took points off the board for them.
First downs very even, 14 for Blue Springs and 15 for West. Ben Coble was 12 for 25 for 123 yards, 1 touchdown. Max Payne, 18 carries for 81 yards.
Of course, it was 60 before the last one.
Avion Bailey for Blue Springs was 33 carries for 177 yards.
Wow.
I tell you what, he was the workhorse for them. And
well, that was what we expected, but I tell you what, that's a lot of yards for him, but he really didn't, it didn't translate into points.
No, it didn't, and it was pretty much between the 20s, too.
Yeah.
Receiving was Sammy Cooper, 4 receptions for 50 yards. And, again, that was kind of spread out all over the place. Trevor Cardell, 3 for 41. Cade, 3 for 28. So.
Well, Cooper's big catch, of course, was early on in the game on the first, long try, the shot that they took down that he made a good catch on, and then offensively they sort of stalled out.
Right.
Obviously, Cade Clemens, the touchdown catch was his big catch.
Well,
so
I tell you what, I know we're going to talk about players of the game, but I tell you who I would throw in there right now.
Yeah.
He's not a player, but he's a coach. I think Coach Careswell, with what adjustments he did with his defense this week, really made a difference.
I would agree with you, except for the fact that there's no way we would ever give a player of the game to a non-student in a high school situation. It's not that I don't. The coaching staff always deserves accolades for what they do. But
if honestly, I wouldn't. I mean.
Offensively, you're really not going to find anybody who. I mean, they didn't play badly or anything like that, but you're not going to find anybody who's going to fit the bill as player of the game. They did, but they also gave up 177 yards to a running back.
They did.
So if I had to, if you have to come up with someone, the guy that I remember mentioning over and over and over again is Andrew Cahill for the number of hits he got. And so while he may not have been the difference in the game one way or another, to me he was the player of the game.
Coming off the edge, yes.
Just because of the numbers. I mean,
think
here
so.
he is going up
against
a guy who's probably weighs almost double what he does. And he's taller than him and whatnot. And not only does he rock him a few times, and did a good job of knocking him down or whatever, but he also, if nothing else, that lingers in a player's memory.
It does. And like I said, I believe Blue Springs knew that they were punched in the mouth tonight.
Yeah, I think so too. So I don't know. It's so if you think if Kelly had it to do over again, do you think he goes for 2 with 2 minutes left and no timeouts?
You know what? Kelly has that much confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, Kelly did that against us many years ago and was very successful. I mean, and that's just
the only problem with that is that you know what the average rate of a 2-point conversion is?
Well,
about 1 out of 2. And so that's exactly where he is right now.
But you knew they were in trouble.
Yeah.
When Avion and the quarterback ran into each other.
Yeah.
And it's like.
It was an unfortunate,
It was. And you know what? What if that wouldn't have happened?
Right. They may have made it.
Right.
They could have. He may have got stopped anyway, but you never know. But I tell you what, though, it's a tough one because you can kind of go either way on that, on that kind of a situation. It's not a high percentage thing, though, and with 2 minutes left to go, now, the Titans could have come back and kicked a field goal, and whether it was a 2-point conversion or not, they would have won with a field goal. But at the same time, I think you're putting all your eggs in one basket there, and as well as your defense is playing, I don't know. And, of course, I also don't know how successful their field goal kicker is in terms of kicking extra points. For all I know, he may have missed half of the field goals or half of the extra points he's tried. I don't think so.
And once again, they could have scored. Kelly's the hero for going for it for the 2-point conversion, but in this case, they didn't.
Yeah, so it happens. So, all right, so next week we wrap up the regular season. We are in Ray-Pec. It is always an adventure.
Producer Mark Files, Alkmaar Mott.
Yeah?
Like Snack Shack, tacos, baby.
So, obviously.
Is that what we're having?
Yeah.
Oh, heck
So
yes.
what does this mean as far as seating is concerned?
It depends on what happens tomorrow with Rockhurst and CBC.
Right.
And West is at least guaranteed second seed.
Yeah, at this point. First of all, we're guaranteed a home game as far as the first district game is going to be. The second thing is, I mean, if we win against Ray-Pec, we're guaranteed the top seed, aren't we, regardless of what happens against CBC? I don't see how that could not be the case because Rockhurst has not played every one of its games within the state. So I don't see, in other words, both of the teams have one loss. So if we win against Ray-Pec, how could they possibly have more points than us?
Don't know.
Mark, you're supposed to know everything.
Well, I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be that.
There's also other factors.
Well, there's the score differential, but in most of our cases we've maxed out the score differential anyway. We have not had I mean, everybody. It's Class 6. It doesn't really make any difference who you play. In other words, you get no bonus for playing anybody up because there isn't anybody up, and so. And since they had that one game against Miege, Rockhurst, I don't see how they could catch up with us points-wise because you don't get that many points.
But doesn't us beating Columbia Rockbridge and them losing to Columbia Rockbridge have something to do with it?
Yes.
I think it does, but here's something you want to keep in mind. Ray-Pec right now is number 8.
Yeah.
Okay? And you're finishing your season with Ray-Pec. Do you really want to come back and play Ray-Pec again? That's something in the equation.
So you want to lose to them?
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is do you? Yeah, I mean, that's something that's in the factor. If you end up winning the district or being the number 1 seed in the district, you got to play Ray-Pec twice.
Wouldn't be the first time that happened to us.
No, and I don't think we've always fared very well doing that.
No,
so,
but
superstitious.
Yeah, and you're right. But that's something that's pretty much out of our control, unless you go in there and lose the game, which you don't really want to do. I mean, when I say that, I mean play to lose.
Right.
Then I don't see. First of all, we don't have any control over whether we'd play them twice or not, and I don't see how if we win that game, how we can finish anywhere but first, because like I said, Rockhurst has the one loss, we have one loss. I think they're probably going to lose to CBC anyway, and it's going to be a moot point. But even if they don't, as much as it's nice for them to have a good win against CBC, because of that game against Miege where they're playing a Kansas team and not a Missouri team, I don't see how they can get enough points to catch up to us.
Well, here's something I can tell you. It looks like we're going to see a Lee Summit North, Lee Summit matchup because Lee Summit North won big over Ray-Pec, 42-14, and Lee Summit just picked up a win over Liberty North, so it looks like it could be a 4-5 matchup there.
Wow. Yeah.
And Park Hill may end up being number 3. So
interestingly, so if things play out the way it looks like we're going to end up playing Ray-Pec twice and then playing the winner of Lee Summit and Lee Summit North.
And then the district involves Rockhurst unless they're upset along
well, yeah.
the way. So
well, that's what I'm saying is that for the first 2 games, we would be guaranteed if things go the way I'm thinking they're going to go. It sounds like we're going to have to play Ray-Pec twice in a row and then play the winner of Lee Summit North and Lee Summit High School because that will be the 4-5 matchup. And if we're the first seed, our second game will be the 4-5. They don't reseed. They don't reseed every round.
No,
so
they don't.
So because of that means we're guaranteed to play the winner of the 4-5 matchup, and then probably Rockhurst or Park Hill, presumably, but you never know.
Very true.
But that's still a ways away. We still got to play we still got to play Ray-Pec next week.
And eat tacos.
And eat tacos. Oh, I
right.
can't wait for that.
Well, and that is one difference, because if I remember correctly, the last time this happened, the 2 games were both in the same location. And one thing that we can guarantee is that if we do play Rockhurst twice, the one that counts will be here.
Exactly.
And the one next week won't.
Yep.
So we'll see how it goes. So, again, if you can travel all the way out to Raymore Peculiar, well, go on and do so. If you can't, you can join us here on 810varsity.com or lswradio.com. We'll have all the action for you again next week, 7 o'clock start Friday night. Maybe it'll be a little less chilly. Who knows? I'm not holding my breath on that. But we'll see how it goes. Final here tonight, it was the Titans 7-6 winners over the Blue Springs Wildcats. For Coach Royce Boehm, our producer Mark Files, and Alec the intern, Joel Becker here from Titan Stadium saying good night. This has been a presentation of Titan Football, Backsports Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
All right, gentlemen.